Hi, everyone. Thank you all for tuning back in. It's Trade with Ellie for all things trade, travel, and investing related. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe bell. But okay, so I gave you that time to hit that subscribe bell. Thank you very much. I truly appreciate it. Today, I want to share a little bit more information on how to find support and resistance when it comes to marking up your charts and you're looking at trades, right? So learning support and resistance is the bread and butter to trading in the foreign exchange market, to understanding what is happening in the market so that you can find great entry points to essentially make money, right? That is really the goal. So support and resistance is super, super important. And I want you to think about support and resistance as your floors and your ceilings, right? So support is the floor that we walk on, right? When you're walking in your home, the floor is holding you up, it is supporting you. Now, if you were to take a ball, you were to take a huge ball and you bounced it really hard on the floor, right? What is it going to do? When it bounces, it's going to off the floor, it's going to go up. When it goes up, it's going to hit that ceiling, right? So right now we have a huge ball, right? We have a ball. This is going to be our ball. And we're going to take this ball and we're going to bounce it really hard, right? When we bounce it hard, it's going to go up and it's going to hit our ceiling, right? It's going to hit our ceiling. And when it hits the ceiling, it's going to reach a certain type of resistance, right? Because we didn't throw the ball hard enough for it to go through the ceiling. We just hit it hard enough for it to bounce off. So now it's going to come eventually and bounce back down, right? It's going to eventually back down. So right now, I want you to see this point right here as our floor and this up here as our ceiling, right? As our ceiling. So the ball is here at our floor. We bounce it super, super hard, super hard. And now it has come up and it has hit the ceiling, but in this sense, right, it didn't hit the ceiling. So what happened in that point? The force of us throwing it to the floor, right, was not that hard. So it didn't reach the ceiling. Have you ever shot a basketball aiming for the hoop, but you didn't give enough push, right? You didn't give enough power in that throw, enough force. And so what happened? You had an air ball, or ultimately the shot was just missed, right? You missed the shot because you didn't have enough power to push it all the way through to reach the net. No problem, right? So it missed it, but it's going to come down, right? What goes up comes back down. So we're looking at the line chart here because I want you to be able to see it very clearly. And then we're going to go back to the candlestick chart. So ultimately, it went halfway, right? But it's okay. We're still having this as our floor and this as our ceiling. So let's say this time you caught it in your hands and you're like, you know what? It didn't hit the ceiling. I caught it. I'm just going to throw it to the ceiling really hard to see what happens. When you take that ball from midair and you thrust it to the ceiling, it's going to hit the ceiling super hard, right? It might bounce off and hit the ceiling twice because it's just doesn't know what to do. But it hit the ceiling so hard that reaction was strong enough to bring it back down to the floor, right? The reaction was hard enough to push it back down to the floor, right? So this time, let's say when you roll the ball to the floor and it bounces off, it goes so far past the ceiling, it has now entered a new level, right? So support and resistance, there's always going to be multiple levels of support and resistance. So I want you to picture now an apartment building, right? We're on the first floor. We're walking on the floor of the first floor, and above us is the ceiling. If we break through that ceiling in our first floor apartment, we're going to end up in the second floor. And so that ceiling of the first floor is also the floor of the second floor, right? So this is our first floor. the ceiling of our first floor, and also now the floor of our second floor. Right, so I'm going to make it another color just so you can see. Right, now this is our new floor. Right, we're on the second floor, and so now we're going to have new levels of support and resistance. Right, we're going to have a new ceiling. Right, we're going to have a new ceiling, and so the market is going to continuously break through levels of support and resistance to create new highs and new lows, right? So if it's going to create a new high, that means we're going from the first floor to the second floor. We're breaking that ceiling of the second floor and eventually going to that third floor. But now if the market is creating new lows, we would be breaking the first floor and going to the basement, right? And if there's levels beyond that, -1, however you want to think about that, the market is going to break that floor and continue to go down. So understand that the support is really important. It's where the market is having some type of reaction, right? We're standing on the floor, we bounce that ball so hard, it hits the ceiling. And when it hits the ceiling, a certain type of reaction happens and pushes the market back down. Anytime the market reaches an area of support and resistance, we're going to be having some type of reaction. And it's going to help us understand if we're looking for buys or sells based off of one of two things. If it breaks that level and creates a new level of support or resistance. So I hope this helps you understand a little bit more about how support and resistance works. I will be making more videos to break down different information to help you understand how to analyze the market, how to use price action and market structure to become a profitable trader. So thank you all. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video.